Hey guys, so yesterday I went and saw Ant-Man and the Wasp. I know this is a day late, but yesterday was my birthday. Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp came out on my birthday, so that was cool. And that's one of the first things I did right off the bat, like early in the day, was go see Ant-Man and the Wasp, get it out of the way. I pretty much, I had to work midnights and woke up at 11. I was like, fuck it, let's go see Ant-Man and the Wasp. And like I say, I was busy with birthday stuff, trying to do stuff with my birthday, and I forgot to do a review for it. So here I am. Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man I liked. I did a review of that back in 2015 somewhere on my YouTube page. I liked it. It's one of my, I would rank as one of my least favorite Marvel movies. Not saying it was terrible. I remember not liking it as much as other ones. There are ones the Marvel movies that I like better than others. Stuff like I would say I've never been the biggest fan of the Thor movies, but I like them. I generally like. It's really hard for me not to like a Marvel movie at this point. They have a formula that works, and it continues to work, and some are do better than others. And this one, I thought it was good, but it was just not one of my favorites. And it's been a while since I've seen the first one. I saw it when I saw it in 2015, and I think that was the only time I've seen it. I have it on Blu-ray. I just haven't got a chance to go back and watch it again. Maybe my opinion will change if I ever get around to watching it. I didn't get a chance to do that before this movie came out, but I was I didn't really need to, because I didn't really need a refresher course or anything. Yeah, I was like I said, I was looking forward to this new one. I was kind of interested in how they were going to follow up Infinity War. After such a fucking bleak and dark as shit movie like Infinity War, how they were going to follow that up with this next movie, which was Ant-Man and the Wasp, which from the trailers looked like a more upbeat, uplifting kind of film. A lot more lighthearted than fucking Infinity War was, which I could understand. I mean, you gotta kind of give everybody a little bit of a breather after that. So yeah, I liked Ant-Man and the Wasp. I did. I liked it a lot. Honestly, if I were to go by what I remember of the first one, I kind of like this one a lot better. It's even stuff I thought I remember I didn't like about the first one. I didn't bother me as much in this one. It's like one of those. Maybe I need to go back and watch it and see if I maybe I was a little harsher on. Like I said, I still liked Ant-Man, but I said maybe if I watch it again with new eyes, maybe I'll like it a lot more now that I've seen this one. Like I said, I'm kind of going by what I remember of the first one. I like this one a little bit better. Paul Rudd is easily the best fucking thing. He carries this movie easily. It's his movie, and people say Evangelina Lilly too, but she is good, really great too, as a really great, strong female lead. She does a really good job and carries her own. I'm not saying that she doesn't at all. But really, this is Paul Rudd's movie. It was Ant-Man, but she gets her time to shine too. But I love Paul Rudd. I'm glad that Paul Rudd is getting a big tentpole movie like Ant-Man, and is getting a chance to make a shitload of money, because this is a guy who's been around for fucking years and has always been one of the most entertaining comedic actors out there. He's been around since the early 20s, and he's I maybe even late 80s, and he to see him get a big movie like Ant-Man and be a part of the Avengers and Captain America Civil War, stuff like that, that's awesome. He's gonna be making good fucking money. I'm glad. He's one of the funniest people out there, and I love this chemistry between him and his daughter. I love the relationship. It was the most adorable part about this movie. It was just him trying to find ways to entertain his daughter while he was on house arrest in the most creative ways, really creative ways. And of course, he's playing every Paul Rudd character that he's ever played. Like, like it's like a lot of those comedians like him, like they have a certain kind of character they always play. It's just a smart ass Paul Rudd-esque character that you see him play all the time. But he's great. Hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it, man. So I mean, yeah, I liked him in this movie. I actually liked the villain in this movie. The villain was weird in this movie because it's not exactly a villain, if that makes any sense. Because really, this is one of those villains that you kind of sympathize with. It's not your stereotypical. I'll give Marvel this. They're just going away from the stereotypical villain that just wants to take over the world. They're kind of going away from that. I'm happy about that. This one, they're kind of seem to kind of more and more go towards like making three-dimensional characters out of their villains and almost kind of sympathetic and to the point that you almost want to root for them. This character, you kind of do. Like, I kind of wanted to see this person succeed because some horrible things are happening to her. I forget what the hell the actress's name. I fucking can't remember the name of the character. It's not one of the most memorable Marvel villains because like it's in the same category. It's like, yeah, probably one of those will become a trivia question to see if you remember what the name was of that character. But like, it's still a pretty good character. Like I said, like give him credit, like giving them a character arc and kind of making them sympathetic because there's some horrible. She has like this fucking thing where like molecularly she's being torn apart and shit like that. It's fucking horrifying. Like what's going on with her, and you kind of feel bad for her. They give us like a backstory behind her. They also get like Lawrence Fishburne, who's like Michael Douglas's old colleague at S.H.I.E.L.D. and he used to work with. And he does a pretty good job. Like he's pretty good in this movie. Like I said, he has a pretty significant role in this film, and like he's. I don't want to get into spoilers. All right, spoiler a little bit. This is a little bit of a spoiler, so if you don't want to know, he is kind of a villain, but isn't too. Like with like he's kind of like the other villain. Like you also got Walton Goggins pops up as like this black market arms dealer who is fucking Walton Goggins, and so because he's Walton Goggins, he's the villain, one of the villains in this movie, and it's like I love it. And Walton Goggins is like one of those guys like I can continuously watch him play a villain, and he's always one of the best parts. And he's great. He's fun in what he's in of this movie. He doesn't have a really big role, but it's pretty cool. This whole movie does revolve around. I do love that it revolves around. Pretty much the whole plot of the movie is revolving around Hank Pym, played by Michael Douglas, and Evangelina Lilly. God damn, that's easy for me to say. Trying to go into the quantum realm to bring back Michelle Pfeiffer, who is Evangelina Lilly's mom and Michael Douglas's wife. Who was established in the first one, got stuck in the quantum realm because she she went subatomic and shit like that. That's a really fucking weird phrase for me to say in a fucking Marvel movie. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole plot of the movie in a nutshell. There's some more to it, but it's like that's pretty much what the plot is. And like, good God, is it? I cannot still get over this fucking de-aging CGI that they've been using for like a lot of these fucking movies, because the opening scene has like a de-aging effect done to Michael Douglas again, like they did in the first one, which was so goddamn alarming and just jarring. Like when you first fucking see it, it's really good. Like the reason why it's jarring is because it's really fucking good. Like you even almost believe that they fucking photoshopped, like they they like it's like somebody said it feels like they shot this footage like in the 80s with like a young Michael Douglas and then put it in like 30 years later. Like it's the same here, and then they got fucking Michelle Pfeiffer, like a de-aging effect on Michelle Pfeiffer, and it's like wow. Like it's like goddamn. And then like it's kind of alarming. Then later in the movie you see her and she's got white hair, and like, man, fucking Catwoman's got white hair now. She's old. Wow, it's weird to see. It's weird to see fucking Michelle Pfeiffer. She still looks great. I won't say that she doesn't. She looks fucking great. She looks great for her age. Even fucking Michael Pena, who I didn't care for in the first one. I remember vividly hating his character in the first one. He didn't get on my nerves in this. I was like, that was one of the elements I was like, you know what? Maybe I was a little harsh on him. That's pretty bad when I'm harsh on him, because I love Michael Pena as an actor. For some reason, I might have just been in a bad fucking mood. I remember seeing like a double feature that day, and that was the first movie I saw in the double feature. So I don't know why I would be in a bad mood, but fuck, I don't know. It's just like sometimes you get irritated by stuff that you probably wouldn't normally get irritated by. Like I said, I thought he was fine. Maybe he toned it down a little bit. He still had like a lot of the quirks they had in the first one, but I don't think it was as bad as it was in the first one. I do love in this movie that pretty much this movie taught me it's pretty easy to escape FBI custody. Like at one point, like some of the main characters are like in FBI custody, and they're in the building and everything else. They easily just put on disguises and walk the fuck out. I'm like, apparently it's really that fucking easy. I'm like, whatever. And it's pretty easy to get around the house arrest bracelet too, apparently, according to this movie, which is pretty funny. And the FBI will just go along with whatever you tell them, even if I'm pretty certain that house bracelet fucking technology is it's hard to get around those fucking things anymore, I'm sure, because they are not that stupid. It's just kind of funny because he is like on house arrest. I love the aspect of him being on house arrest. I love like when he's like trying to go and do stuff with Hank Pym and Evangelina Lilly. Has like the bracelet on one of his aunts, and the aunt's just. I wanted to see the antics of this aunt while he was like, house sitting, basically. That was pretty funny. I wanted like a whole movie of that. I actually would have thought that would have been pretty funny. Also, like I said, I talked about the bracelet. As far as the end credits scene, like, okay, this is because of fucking Infinity War, the whole movie, while this movie was uplifting and funny and everything else, like I know I can't be the only one. While watching this movie, you're like, just had a sense of dread. Like, I know I'm not the only one, because you're like, I don't know. I won't spoil Infinity War because it's only been a couple months. Like, I'm pretty certain pretty much most people know what happened in Infinity War at the end of Infinity War. So I'm just gonna go by that and say I'm not gonna spoil it, but like, because of the end of the Infinity War, there's a big sense of dread while watching this, because they're like, the events of Infinity War are going to I know, or like the whole that my back of my head is like, are gonna have a big effect on this movie sometime. I was like, probably towards the end of the movie. I have a feeling probably towards the end of the movie, like, there's a happy ending-esque ending at the end of this movie, like, where it's with Paul Rudd and his daughter and Evangelina Lilly. It's so sweet and stuff like that. I was like, dude, I know this is my birthday and all. I was crossing my fingers, like, come on. Dude, I was just imagining, like, the worst scenario in that situation because of what happened at the end of Infinity War. Like, I don't want to get into spoilers, but like I was like, man, this could get really dark really fucking quickly. And I was like, please do it. They didn't do it. I'm like, it's like, all right, whatever. That's like, I guess you could only wish. But the mid-credit scene, yep, the effects of Infinity War, end of Infinity War, come into play in the mid-credit scene, and it was like, wow, that's an interesting way to end this fucking film. It, like I said, I'm interested in what's going to happen to Ant-Man and a lot of other different fucking characters because of what happened at the mid-credit scene. Ant-Man's in a fucking horrible situation by the end of this movie. Whew, like, damn, that's some fucking dark ass shit to think about. Whew, that was like, but also at the same time, the end credits scene, because it had to basically follow what was going on at the end of Infinity War, kind of makes the whole Ant-Man and the Wasp movie pointless. It kind of renders it pointless by the end of it. That did kind of bug me a little bit, but also they did that in Infinity War 4 Ragnarok, making that whole movie fucking pointless. But like, it does. It kind of does. The mid-credit scene retroactively makes the movie I just watched pointless, so that kind of did bug me a little bit. But, yeah. I'm interested. Like I said, I cannot wait to see what they got up their sleeve with Avengers 4. They got a lot of hype, more than Infinity War. Like, how are they gonna follow this shit up? I'm interested in how they are, and I can't fucking wait. I know we have to wait. We get Captain Marvel first before, but I know Captain Marvel, from what I can tell, is going to have a big part in Infinity, the next Avenger. So, like I said, I'm interested where they go from here. If I can recommend Ant-Man and the Wasp, really liked it. I liked, out of the Marvel movies that came out this year, I would say Infinity War was the best, just because that movie had balls. It just was a culmination of like 10 years of doing this crazy idea of making a cinematic universe, and I give that movie so much credit for having the balls to do what they did at the end of the movie and have one of the best villains ever in a comic book movie. Trailers. Got a trailer for the live action remake of Dumbo. It's Tim Burton directing Dumbo, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's like one of those, like, not until like a couple months ago when this trailer popped up, it's like, oh yeah, Tim Burton is making that fucking Dumbo remake. I forgot about that. And it's like, yeah, I'm hoping this is Frankenweed Tim Burton, or like Beetlejuice Tim Burton, or something like that, and not Alice in Wonderland Tim Burton, or Dark Shadows Tim Burton. I'm hoping we get the good Tim Burton. Like, Tim Burton's been a hit and miss over the last 20 years. Like I said, every time you're hesitant when you see his name on anything, because you're like, you don't know what Tim Burton you're gonna get. And like, when he's really good, he is really fucking good. Like, he's one of the best directors out there. When he is on, like, he fucking hits one out of the park. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm wondering if there's going to be the Crows in this movie. That's the only thing I want to know. Is the Crows are going to be in the... I highly doubt they are. The Jive Talking Crows, including the one called Jim Crow. Highly doubt they will, but... dude, have balls, please do it. I know it's racist, it's horribly racist, but still, I would love to see them fucking pull that off. Somehow. The Nutcracker in the Four Realms, I got a new trailer for that. It's like pretty much an expansive trailer. I've never read the original Nutcracker story, because it's not just based off a ballet, it's based off a story made back in the day. I don't know how true to this movie is to the original story. It's like, basically, I don't know, like there's 4 different worlds that the Nutcracker exists. I don't know, it's whatever. It's a Nutcracker, but a little bit different. Got Morgan Freeman, for who else? I forget who else. It's like, it's got some of the music cues that you all know. It still has some of the same music from the ballet, which you have to, because that's pretty much what everybody recognizes when they say the name Nutcracker. Hopefully it's not like that fucking Nutcracker 3D movie that came out like in 2010. It doesn't look that bad. It's not like fucking damn it turned into like fucking Nazis. Like the rats are turned into fucking Nazis or anything like that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look that shit up. And in the house with the clock in the walls. Okay, so what alarmed me more about this movie wasn't the actual trailer. It was what I found out after researching this movie a little bit more. Anyways, as far as the trailers go, it's basically like Jack Black is an uncle who brings in this nephew to live with him, and he's got some weird, mysterious clock in the walls, literally, in his house. And like there's monsters or something like that. It looks like Goosebumps. I guess it's based off like a children's horror novel, really like back in the 70s that came out in the 70s, I guess. I guess pretty popular. It was pretty popular back then. I don't know how popular it was back in the States. But I never heard of it. Yeah, it looks like Goosebumps, but with a haunted house, basically. It looks harmless. But I don't know how many people know who's directing this movie. I was shocked when I heard this. I can't fucking wrap my head around this. Who's directing this movie? Alright, who's the last person you would ever think would direct a kids movie? A PG kids movie? If you named Eli Roth as that person, you are fucking correct. Eli Roth is directing a PG kids movie. The guy, okay, if you don't know who Eli Roth, there's two people out there that might not know who Eli Roth is. He is the guy who's responsible for Cabin Fever, the first two Hostel movies, The Green Inferno, Knock Knock, am I forgetting anything else? Oh, and Death Wish remake, the recent Death Wish remake that everybody loves. Not just taking away the fact that he's a shitty director, but that guy, the guy who made some of the goriest, most asinine horror films of the last, the goriest horror films of the last decade or so, is making a kids movie. I mean, it's weird that Robert Rodriguez has made kids movies, but he's been doing that on and off lately. I mean, but Eli Roth, like, it sounds more normal that Robert Rodriguez is doing it. Eli Roth, that is, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck said, I got a good idea, let's put Eli Roth and have Eli Roth make kids movies? Whoever made that decision, I hope they fucking died on whatever drugs they were taking. OD'd on whatever drugs they were taking. I'm fucking curious how this would end. Like, well, I guess it would only make sense that the guys made really juvenile fucking films and had juvenile characters make a movie that stars pretty much all kids. I guess it makes fucking sense there. I can't wrap my head around that. The guy who fucking made Cabin Fever and the Hostel movies is directing a kids movie. His name's not even anywhere on the fucking advertising. That's probably why. So I can understand why, but fuck it. I've heard weirder things. This might be one of the weirdest things I've ever heard in my entire life. On that note, I don't have much else to say. What's next week? Skyscraper, which I'll be seeing, and I hear Hotel Transylvania 3 is getting good reviews. I never saw the first two. I guess I better catch up on those. So until then, I'll talk to you guys later.